Hello my crafty crew and welcome back. If you're new, hi, I am Di, this is Creative Karma Design and I am sharing the process video for week 25 of Project Life. So if you are new, I just want to give you a heads up that I am using trading card pages in just a regular like letter size binder. This is like a $3 binder from Walmart. So that is what I am doing. I'm going to be using the Ali Edwards June. I think there may be some elements from the July Stories by the Month kit. So that's what I'm going to be using here. So I've got some printables. I've got the physical June kit. And also I've printed out some photos. I've printed out some of the journaling cards. And then we will be using some of the physical June kit, like I said. I'm going to go over the photos, but first what I want to do is give you a kind of a quick tutorial on one of the new features in Canva, which is absolutely fabulous. So I'm going to be like shuffling around the photos here, but as you can see, I'm going to be using the June kit and it's got this beautiful floral paper. I'm going to be using that as my card on the top left there. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, this is just beautiful. But it was really a struggle to find something that would go with it. And then I found this other like patterned paper, like journaling card from, I think it was the March Stories by the Month. So you can see it here in Canva. I've got the June floral thing and I think it's the March. I'm pretty sure it was the March. It had this like watercolory kind of paper, but none of the colors matched. So as you can see here, if I zoom in, if you go into Canva, when you import things now into Canva, you get this option to change the colors on the top bar. So I'm just going to change some of the colors and play with it and see what I can come up with by just playing. But you can see on that left hand side, it says photo colors and it's picking the colors from the floral paper. So I can literally use the exact colors. It is just amazing. And this works with pretty much anything. Now, some of them you do have to kind of like play around with, pick some colors, change some colors, but as a basic editing tool, this is fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. I freaking love it. This update was so good. So you can see here, I've just color picked the green because I didn't think the green matched that well that was in that they chose, but it's just fabulous. And now it matches the same colors without it being matchy-matchy. So yes, if you have Canva, and if you don't, I highly recommend that you just go and download it and play. Again, you can download it on your phone. There is an app if you have a phone, iPad, whatever it is. But the desktop version, I use a desktop version. But yeah, absolutely fabulous. That new feature, amazing. So I'm going to cut down some of the cards and we will talk about the photos. And I'm going to say this because the first photo was Monday morning of Cosmo at the park. That's on the left hand side on the top thing, the top row. And the story, here's the story card, tells the story of this. Because Monday, I took Cosmo to what we call the duck pond. It's the Duck Pond Park. It's a park in our city that has a big duck pond in the middle of it. And it is full of Canada geese right now, like little baby ones as well. So anyway, we're walking along the duck pond, which he loves because, you know, there's birds, there's squirrels, there's rabbits, there's critters everywhere. And there's this gosling, this little baby goose, and it literally, like, it wants to be Cosmo's best friend. It came out of nowhere and then just proceeded to follow us, like, halfway around the park. But at one point, it was, like, 12 inches away and in the danger of losing its life. And the photo here that you can see was just me going, what the hell is happening? Because I'm trying to run away and it's waddling after it. And Cosmo, of course, is just like, hey, it's second breakfast. And so this is the stuff that I want to remember, like this stuff, because it was just crazy. It was just one of those crazy things. And to get away from it, because I was literally holding Cosmo, like, by the neck, like I got my arms around him, and the goose was trying to get next to us, and I was having to like shoo it away with my legs, and I'm shouting at it like some crazy woman that thinks that it can understand English. But one of the park staff thankfully came up in his little golf cart thing and got hold of the goose, but I was like, thank you, and I just legged it, like just completely ran off with my dog. Just like that one had a death wish, serious death wish. So that was the story of Monday morning, which was insane. And then the rest of the photos that you can see here on the left-hand side, there's one of the new towel rail that we put up in our bathroom, which will be relevant in a second. But there's one of me on my walks. I'm really trying to get my steps in. I was trying to get to 10,000 steps a day. Now I'm trying to increase to get a minimum of 12. I'm not always getting there, but most days. And then there was one of the little A-frame notice board at one of the other parks that are near our house. It's about a mile away. And the parks generally have like a sign on the way into the parks with the rules of the parks. And one of them is your dogs have to be on a leash. Well, apparently somebody is, and I know they do, they use those parks all the time and they don't leash their dogs. But the parks are getting, like the parks people are getting pretty serious about it now, which they should be, because we have leash laws for a reason. But yeah, so there's a big like A-frame sign now saying dogs must be on a leash and pick up after your pets, because there's nothing worse than people that don't pick up their dog poop. Like, seriously? So on the bottom of that left-hand side, there's a little photo of our closet in the bedroom, because we have new lights in the closet, which is fabulous. And then the journaling on that bottom left is all about my husband got invited to the Amazon Vine program, which is the reviewing program or whatever, like where they send you stuff for free and you review them. So he got invited to that. So the towel rail, the lights, there was a couple of other things as well. I can't remember. One of them was the dog bed cover, and there is the tiles that are around the stove. There was something else. I can't think what it is, but we got those as part of the program. And yeah, so we're just doing these little quality of life improvements. And let me tell you, it's fabulous. My husband is really doing a lot right now, which is absolutely insane. And I am so over the moon about it. Over the moon. So on the right-hand side, on the top there's a little plastic ship. My husband got a new 3D printer. Not through the program. That was just his. He's had it on like back order for ages. So he got a new 3D printer, and it's so much better than his old one. So he is super happy. There's a little screen grab of the event that was in Pokemon Go. As you know, I have restarted playing Pokemon Go. I fully blame Rini for that. And that was the event that was over the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then there's a picture of Stella, because why not? She's super cute. On the middle there is the photo again, as I was talking about, of the stove. We replaced the in-unit stove a while ago, and some of the tiling came off. So I've had like bare, what's the boarding called? Drywall around the stove and the microwave for a while. And my husband was like, hey, why don't I get some of these stick-on tiles? And then while we're deciding what we want to do with the kitchen, then at least it'll look nice. And he installed those on the Sunday, and let me tell you, I freaking love them. If you have like something that you don't like about your kitchen or a bathroom, put those stick-on tiles on, because it makes such a difference. $20 makes such a difference. I freaking love that part of my kitchen now. And I still hate the floor, I hate the cabinets, and I hate the countertop. But that little area is doing fine. Is doing absolutely fine. So then there's the journaling. Just, I think there's like 5 little points of things that have happened this week. Quality of life improvements to the house. I got some shiny Pokemon. I don't know what, Community Day, and I don't know, a couple of other things. But yeah, just a few little highlights of the week. Then there was the Community Day that we had in Pokemon Go, which was on Saturday afternoon, which was Jiangmao. And then there is Cosmo on the little dog bed, because why not? And the Easy Like Sunday Morning card, that is from the July Stories by the Month kit that I recolored exactly how I showed you earlier so that it matched the same colors as was in the floral paper on that top left. So yeah, that is pretty much week 25, all the photos and the little stories there. And then I've got the little squares there. They're a part of the tags that were in the kit, and I just took the end of the little flag tag off, and I'm just using the white bit. I've done that before. I saw somebody do it, and I can't remember who it was, and it was months ago. It might have even been last year, I can't remember. But I just thought it was a fabulous idea as to how to use those tags, because they're just a bit weird that part of it's white and part of it's coloured. So yeah, and then the little brads here, the orange brads that you can see, those are from Temu. I bought them, I think it was last year. And I was just like, I was trying to make up the order so that I got the free shipping. And I was like, oh, you know what I should order? I should order brads. And yeah, so I got a selection of colourful, miscellaneous, assorted brads. And yeah, the orange just matched perfectly. So that was great. And then what else? I'm putting on the little word strips on some of the photos, and I just thought, you know, I'm going to add some to that Easy Like Sunday Morning card. It needs something in that gap. And yeah, so I just added that in there. I think in hindsight, as I look at this now, I should have added one to the top middle photo on the right hand side, but I can always add it afterwards. It's fine. So that is pretty much all of the stories and all of the stuff. So I'm going to put some journaling in the little journal boxes, like just to give the photos some relevance. And then other than that, that is about done. But it was one of those weeks where Monday was kind of crazy. And then there was a few little things throughout the week. And then Sunday was like a bumper, like Saturday and Sunday were like crazy. So it was just like, it was a weird week is what I will say. Also, I didn't sleep very well this week, which did not help at all. So yeah, but that's a whole other health issue. So yeah, I'm giving some context to some of the photos as to what is happening on those. And that's about it. What I do decide is the squares, the little squares with the brads on, because on that top left, I'm going to add like week 25 and I'm going to stamp the dates on it, which is the 16th to the 22nd, I think. I'm like, okay, what am I going to add in the other squares? Because they need something. So what I did was I grabbed the vellum numbers that I've been using on and off, well, more on than off, that I've been using for the week. So we've got week 25 here. So I do a 2 and a 5. And I'm like, you know what I should do? I should put numbers in the other squares for something. So that's what I did. I end up putting, I think it's a 20 in one of them. That is the amount of shiny Pokemon that I got last week, including the ones for Community Day. And then I did, I think it was a 5. I can't remember. Might have been a 5 for like the little projects that we've done in the house this week. So yeah, so I'm going to stamp the number, the dates on that little square. And I'm doing that with my rolling date stamp. I still am trying to figure out how this thing works. I think if I can, I'm going to try and get a new one, just because I don't like the fact that it has the day of the week on, and I can't seem to get it to not have the day of the week on. It's a bit big, is what I will say. So anyway, it works fine as long as I mask the day of the week. And then I put the 25 on, and I'm just going to staple those on with my little tiny attacher. So I love that thing. I absolutely love it. In hindsight, what I need to do is staple them on and then put the staples on like horizontally to keep them there, because on one of them they do kind of swivel a bit because I stapled it in a weird angle. So there's that. But yeah, so I'm just like, I think the repetition of adding the numbers was the right thing to do. And I think I have it on my mind of numbers from the week in the life and the by the numbers thing. And I'm just like, no, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And I think maybe 1 week, like moving forward, I might just do a whole, this is the week by the numbers kind of thing. Like, this is how many miles I walked, how many steps I walked. This is how many, I don't know, how many hours I play Pokemon. This is how many videos I put out this week, that kind of thing. I think that would be an interesting concept. I think that's something that I might think about moving forward when I have a slow week. And this was a slow week, crazy enough. But if I have a slow week, I'm thinking about doing something like that. Like, how can I document a week in a slightly different way? So yeah, I think it might be this 2 that I put on weird, but there was one number that just went on kind of weird. And yeah, it's that 2. It just didn't really sit very well. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of different ways that I can document project life when not much happens. Anyway, here's a close-up of the week on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, and then I'm going to pop everything back into its album, and I only have 1 more week left, which, as you can see, is already kind of half set up because I will be using the rainbow stuff to celebrate Pride. So that is my week done. If you enjoyed this, then give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you next time. Bye!